Hi guys, it's Sasha and I'm back with a new highly requested tutorial about one of my favorite photos I've taken about a year and a half ago. Let me scroll down on my Instagram and I can show you which photo I'm talking about. Let me see. Okay, here's this photo. So a lot of you guys asked me how I achieved this motion blur effect, whether in camera or in a post-production. So I achieved this effect in a Photoshop. And because it's a very popular trend in beauty photography, I wanted to show you guys how you can fake it in Photoshop. First, let me show you the before and after. This final edit looks a little bit different from the original photo, but that's because I didn't want to copy 100% from what you see on my Instagram. So let me show you before and after. Before and after. Before and after. Without further ado, let's get to the retouching. I would normally start my retouching process from editing the skin, like removing all the blemishes and imperfections, but for this particular photo, I'm not going to be doing it. First of all, I'll create a copy of the background layer, Command J or Control J on the Windows. Now that we have a copy of a background layer, I'll be working with channels. So let's go to channels and find the channel that has the most contrast. Usually it's a blue channel. Disable all the channels except blue. Create a curve layer and bring your shadows down and your highlights up. And again, disable all the channels except blue. I will adjust my curve to add more contrast to it. Now let's select all the highlighted areas. Press Command or Control on Windows and click on your blue channel. Like that. You see how it selected everything? We need the selection so our motion blur effect will only apply on black areas and not on our highlighted areas. Let's go back to layers. Now click on the copy of a background layer. And after that, let's just delete our curves layer. We don't need it anymore. Delete. Yes. Now that we have this selection on the copy of our background layer, let's go ahead and just save this selection just in case. Right click on your mouse and save selection. And I will name this probably motion blur selection or something like that. Or mask. And again, motion blur effect will only apply in the areas where they are not selected. So everything that's not selected will be blurry. And why we needed this selection? To make this photo look more realistic, like if you would do it in a camera and not in a post-production. I will go ahead and remove the selection from the eye and from the nail, just because I don't want to have it there. Now, very important step, to make it work, you guys need to invert this selection. So the motion blur effect will only apply to the areas that are not selected right now. Let's go ahead and invert this selection. Like that. Now guys, that we have our selection inverted, we can go ahead and apply motion blur filter. Let's go to filters, find blur, and then motion blur. As you guys can see, my distance is about 400 pixels. I already edited this photo before, so I know this number works the best for this image. My angle is 45 degrees and it matches the angle of her face. It's very important to find the right angle for your object or the face on the photo so it matches the whole thing. Now let's apply this filter. Now guys, let's go ahead and disable this selection. And deselect. So now guys, you can see that everything that wasn't selected is blurry with the motion blur effect, and everything that was selected is actually more crisp and sharp and not as blurry. That is a very important step to keep everything natural and realistic. And to make this photo look better, I want to bring back details to the eye because it was blurred by the motion blur effect. For that, I'll be using mask. And by using mask, I'll be able to paint with the black brush on the white mask bringing details back from our background layer. I need to make sure that I'm using the right brush. It has to be soft and it has to be black. So I'll go to brush settings just to make sure that it's feathered. Next step, using black brush, I need to paint over on my white mask. Let's try. Alright, this is too much opacity on the mask. Let's lower it down. Just like that. And let's try. Yeah, this works perfect. And I'm using the same angle, 45 degrees, to match the motion blur effect, so it looks natural. And because this photo is mainly about the eye and the face, I needed to bring back details to the eye. So for example, when you're guys shooting a certain picture, make sure that you're bringing back details to the face or to parts of the body that you're trying to draw the attention of your viewers. Okay, let me double check the before and after. I think that's gonna be enough. So we brought more details to the eye, so now it looks more believable and more realistic. And to make this picture more fun, you guys saw that I added some rainbow streaks to the picture, so it adds a little bit more mood and it makes it more believable that it was shot in the camera and not made in Photoshop. So I found this picture somewhere on the internet. I thought it would be cool to add these rainbow strips, streaks, whatever you call them, to the photo. So what I'm doing, I'm just copying this picture over to the original photo. Alright, and next step, I'm just gonna make this bigger, and I will rotate it to about like 45 degrees so it matches the image and the angle of the face. Next, let me find the right space. Alright, next I'm gonna create a mask on this layer, and make sure that you use black brush, and I'll be painting over these rainbow streaks with my black brush, so you will see them disappearing. And I'm gonna do maybe like 5-6 streaks just to make it more fun. So you guys see whenever I paint with my black brush, these streaks, they disappear. That's what we need. I will show you how to make them appear back on the picture, because we don't need all this gray on the background. We just need these rainbow streaks. Why am I saying streaks or strips? I'm confused. Whatever. All right. So few more. I think that's gonna be enough. So next, very important step after I'm done with painting over these rainbow streaks, we guys need to invert this layer. Not the layer, sorry, invert the mask on this layer. To do that, just hit Command I or Control I on your Windows. So now everything that was white disappeared, and our rainbow streaks that we were painting over, they actually appeared on the picture. Go back to the motion blur effect, and with the same angle and distance on pixels, applied on this layer with rainbow streaks, just like that. So you guys see that they look realistic now, and they do match this photo. Let me see if I like it maybe a little bit smaller or bigger. I'll just have to play with it. I think that's gonna be good. Alright, and next I'll have to create a copy of this same layer and move these rainbow streaks somewhere else on my picture to just get more of them. Alright, maybe somewhere here. I think this will work. Let me see if I maybe like a different angle. Why is it not working? Right, maybe something like this. And let me move it to the left. Maybe a little bit more to the left. Maybe like this. I think this works. I don't really like this rainbow part on her eyebrow, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. Just use the black brush and the mask and just paint it over and it will disappear like that. So let me see, maybe I'll remove this one under her eye. Yeah, I think this looks better. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this rainbow part one more time and move it elsewhere again. Probably somewhere here, so it kind of crosses her eye and it makes it, I guess, more believable. And let me change the angle so it matches the angle of her eyelids. Maybe like this. Let me move it over and see. I think I need to change the angle one more time. Like that probably. And I'm gonna place it over her retina. Like that. Alright, apply the filter. Go back to mask and I'm gonna remove few more streaks just to clean it up a little bit so it doesn't look messy. Probably this one as well. So next I'll probably add a few more streaks right here on the right bottom portion of the picture. Alright, let me copy it one more time. And now I'm gonna move them into this corner, maybe like this. I think this works well. All right. And next, what I'll probably do, I'm gonna group all these, merge these layers together, just so I have just one layer with all these rainbow streaks. Just hit Command E and it will merge them into one layer. Let's find hue saturation, Alt and on our rainbow layers, so it only applies to that layer, and we will increase the saturation. Ooh, that's a little too much. Maybe a little more. Let's play with lightness. Can't see. Probably like that. And to make our picture look a little bit more dimensional, I'm gonna create a dodge and burn layer. I already have like an action for it, but you guys probably already know how to create dodge and burn layer, so I'm not gonna explain you how to do that. And by using a soft white brush, I'm gonna just be painting on my picture, increasing highlights, adding more dimension to the face. Decrease the opacity, probably around like 4. Alright, and I'm gonna paint on the nose to increase the highlight, like that. Then I'm gonna move to the eyelid just to make it a little bit more dimensional and so it draws your attention. On the bottom eyelid as well. Next, on her cheek, I'm gonna increase the size of the brush and I'm gonna paint over to make it pop a little more. Let's see what else. On her lip as well. Basically, I'm painting everywhere where I see highlights, just because it will make our picture look better, more realistic, more 3D dimensional. So it will draw your attention to those areas. I messed it up a little bit here. Let's go up to the forehead and I'll make my brush bigger and paint it over like that. Next, I'm gonna switch to the black brush on the same dodge and burr layer, and I'll be working with shadows. First, I'm gonna make darker her eyebrow, so it will be more defined on the picture. Also, under the eyebrow, next to the nose, pretty much anywhere where the natural shadow will fall, in the corner of her eye, like that. Under the eye, so it looks gonna get more dimensional, and under the lip, like that. And let me double check the before and after really quick. Before and after. I need to fix the eye. It's a little bit unnatural. Let's go back with the white brush and make it a little bit more smooth. Let's check one more time. Probably a little bit more we need to work on the eye. Alright, let's check again. I think that's probably looking okay. So next, I'm just gonna do a very quick color correction. I'm just gonna use selective color, go to red, increase my blacks on the red. Next, let's see, let's go to natural, and this is pretty standard color correction I do, cyan and yellow, -2 and +2, and then I will also play with blacks. Don't go crazy here. Alright, next I'm gonna probably use curves, or the curves, or photo filter. Alright, apply that, and now I'm gonna use curves. Pop the highlights and add a little bit more shadows. That's too much. I think that's fine. We're just editing just to show you how to do that. We're not doing it perfect for this photo. Alright, what's next? I'm gonna create another curve layer and make the eye a little bit more alive by adding a highlight. And invert the mask, and with the white brush, let's paint over the retina. Why is it not doing anything? Let's try. Alright, now it's working. I think that's enough, I guess. Let me fix right here. It's a little bit dark and not looking real. Alright, I think that looks fine. Next, I'm gonna create another curve layer to darken the outer part of the eye, or the retina. Curves, move your blacks down, and invert the mask, don't forget, like that. And again, use the white brush, and let's paint over of the edge. Oh, that's too much. I'll remove the opacity. And let's darken this outer edge of our eye. Like that. I think that's enough. I think we are done with this simple color grading. And I'll just remove the opacity just a little bit. Before and after, that looks fine. Now I'm gonna put all these editing layers into the folder, and I will show you the before and after. Before and after. Before and after. Before and after. So now you guys know that I achieved this effect in the Photoshop and not in the camera. The secret is revealed. And you guys can try it yourself. You can do it in the camera, but if you wanted to play with some editing, now you know how to achieve this effect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. And if you'll try this effect, please send me a picture to my Instagram, just DM me. I'm really curious to see what you guys can do with this effect, and I hope you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, support me, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Bye guys, see you in my next video.